Listen to me carefully. Kingdom wealth isn't luck, it's law. I got news for you. If you treat money like luck, you live like a gambler. If you treat it like law, you can live by design. Write that down. A law is a principle built into creation that produces predictable, repeatable results when you align with the design. Gravity doesn't ask your opinion. Seed time and harvest do not check your emotions. Alignment produces outcomes predictable, dependable, transferable. That's what we're talking about. Not superstition, not lottery living, law. I want you to write this down. Stop calling people lucky when what you are seeing is discipline under law. You say, she just caught a break, but you didn't see the years she aligned with principle when nobody was clapping. You say, he is blessed, and I agree, but blessings flow on rails called laws. If you want their fruit, study their roots. If you want their outcome, learn their order. Are there eagles in this room? Then I want you to fly with me above the fog of luck thinking and into the clear air of law thinking. Give yourself a hand if you're ready to stop gambling and start governing. Let me diagnose your life for a minute, because I came as a coach and a father, and I love you enough to confront you. Some of you are tired of unstable income. 1 month you're up, next month you're under. Some of you have mastered the cycle of debt, paying interest to finance yesterday while starving tomorrow. Some of you swallow paycheck to paycheck anxiety every Friday like a pill. Then you numb it on Saturday and pray for a miracle on Sunday. Some of you are generous in heart but have no margin in pocket, so your compassion is strangled by your confusion. That pain is not proof that you are cursed. It's an indicator that you have been treating money like weather instead of like a wheel. Wheels move vehicles when you understand the axle. Everybody say with me, law. Say it again, law. A law works anywhere for anyone, anytime, if you align. The law of lift will take a metal tube with 2 wings and fly it over oceans if it's submitted to the design. But pigeons sit on the runway and call the eagle lucky because they never taxi, never test, never trust the wind. I want you to write this down. Pigeons think chance, eagles think laws. Pigeons speak excuses, eagles build systems. Pigeons chase jackpots, eagles steward assignments. Which are you? Look at your neighbor and tell them, I am not a gambler, I am a steward. Say it again like thunder. Now, let me anchor one law in your spirit right now, because it is the doorway to all the others. Write this down. Money follows mastery. Write that down. Not noise, not need, mastery. And mastery is not just talent, mastery is competence plus character plus consistency. Competence means you actually know what you're doing and can do it at a high level. Your work has weight. Your product solves a real problem. Your hands know their craft. Character means you can be trusted with the moment. Integrity, humility, teachability, no shortcuts, no rotten measurements hiding in your scales. Consistency means you can do it again and again and again, even when you don't feel like it, because law doesn't ride on moods. When competence, character, and consistency meet, demand is born. Demand attracts currency, and currency is simply applause in paper form for value delivered over time. I want you to hear me. God can bless you, but he will not excuse you from growing. You've been praying for increase while neglecting skill. You've been sowing offerings while avoiding excellence. That is why your seasons feel random, because your behavior is random. Eagles do not live on random. Eagles live on rhythm. Write this down. Excellence is an economy. When you solve better, you're paid better. When you solve reliably, you retain. When you solve with integrity, you're recommended. Some of you have 3 miracles waiting on the other side of 3 new skills. Stop calling it a demon when it's really a deficiency. That's hope, not shame, because deficiencies can be trained. I know what you're thinking, but doctor, the system is against me, and in many places it is. I'm from a little place the world forgot, and I learned that the Creator embedded laws that work in any land, any color, any season, any storm. If you align, the storm may slow you, but it cannot cancel a law. Are there eagles here who understand that headwinds become lift when you angle your wings correctly? This is your moment to shift from emotion-led to principle-led, from maybe to method, from superstition to structure. So here's the promise of where I'm taking you in this series. I'm going to lay out 4 governing laws that remove the dice from your destiny and put a design in your hands. Stewardship, mastery, seed, and systems. Stewardship will free you from the lie of ownership and teach you to manage what you do not possess so that money serves purpose, not pride. Mastery, we have begun because money follows it and honor attaches to it. Seed will deliver you from spare change generosity and place your increase under agricultural law, predictable, measurable, accountable. And systems will ensure that what God can do overnight, you can keep over years. Are you ready to learn these? Are you ready to practice not just praise? Then join me at the top. Before we move on, I want you to confront a habit. Write this down. Language is access. Stop saying I'm waiting on a break and start saying I'm building by law. Stop saying I hope it works out and start saying I will align with design. Look him in the face, yes, your fear, and tell it, I don't live by luck. I live by law. Give yourself a hand if you're done living like a slot machine and ready to live like a steward. Let me summarize this foundation so it burns on your heart. Luck produces anxiety. Law produces peace. Luck makes you chase. Law makes you build. Luck flatters you in the night and fails you in the morning. Law fathers you through the night and funds you in the morning. If you treat money like luck, you'll live like a gambler. If you treat it like law, you can live by design. Eagles, I invite you to decide today, leave the ranks of the pigeons who toss coins into fountains and call it faith. Come with me into the clarity of kingdom economics, where predictable laws partner with a faithful God to fund your assignment before you die. Now write this last line down for the day. I will learn the laws, I will live the laws, and I will leave a legacy lawful. Say it with me. And get ready, the next law is about to set you free. I got news for you, and it might shock you, but I love you enough to disturb you into destiny. The wealthiest place on this planet is still the cemetery. Not the diamond mines of South Africa, not the gold fields of South America, not the oil wells of the Middle East, not the banks of Switzerland. No. The richest soil is that quiet ground not too far from your house where dreams are buried with bodies. Write this down. The cemetery is full of stored potential, unused ideas, unwritten books, unbuilt businesses, untrained leaders, ungiven generosity, unsung songs, unstarted schools, unsolved problems. That is what makes it wealthy inventory that never shipped. My greatest dream and wish for you is that you will make a decision today not to add to the wealth of the cemetery. Say it with me right now and say it like thunder. I will not add to the wealth of the cemetery. Again, I will not add to the wealth of the cemetery. Give yourself a hand for saying that. Because you just divorced yourself from the comfort of spectatorship and married responsibility. Now look at me. Some of you came to this moment because your job feels like thorns pricking you out of a nest called familiar. You are uncomfortable in success that doesn't satisfy. You buy things that don't bless your purpose. Your closet is full, but your calling is empty. I came to translate that pain. Write this down. Discomfort is not punishment. It is a push. The push is saying, do not die with seeds in your pocket. Seeds of strategy, seeds of skill, seeds of relationships, seeds of capital, seeds of compassion. Seeds do not multiply in pockets. They multiply in soil. I want you to understand something deep in your spirit. Provision is not primarily about your lifestyle. It is about your assignment before you die. The Creator funds what He orders. He does not underwrite your image. He underwrites your impact. That's why some of you have been praying for more money while heaven has been waiting for more mission. Purpose is the purchase order. Assignment is the authorization for inventory to be released. When you decide what you were born to solve, supply begins to track you like a homing signal. Write this down. God's supply is attracted to obedience, not appetite. Let me confront you in love. You can use money for image or for assignment, for applause or for impact, for comfort or for legacy. Which one are you? Tell your neighbor, I was not born for applause. I was born for impact. Eagles don't spend their lives shining their feathers in the mirror. They build nests that train the next generation to fly. They don't chase crumbs with pigeons. They carry prey to the heights and feed their eaglets. Are there eagles in this room? Then rise above consumer comparisons and set your face like flint toward your calling. Write this down. My money is a messenger of my mission. Every dollar is a diplomat sent to represent your priorities in places your feet cannot go. When your money keeps reporting back with selfies and no service reports, you are funding your image, not your assignment. That's why anxiety keeps visiting your house. You are asking currency to do what only calling can do. Peace is not found in purchases. It's found in purpose, obeyed. Let me paint a picture for you. Imagine lying in a casket while your community gathers to say nice things, but in your jacket pocket is a little envelope of seeds, dreams you never sowed, skills you never sharpened, strategies you never structured, generosity you never planned. The undertaker closes the box, and those seeds go into the ground with you, not in planted rows, but in a coffin. That is tragedy. That is waste. I want you to write this line in big letters. I will empty the envelope while I'm alive. Come on, say it with me. I will empty the envelope while I'm alive. How? Not by wishing, not by lottery living, by law. If you intend to die empty, you must live engineered. You must connect provision to purpose and align behavior with design. This is why I am insisting that you learn stewardship. Owners clutch, stewards distribute. Owners protect image, stewards protect assignment. Owners say mine, stewards say his. When you stop acting like an owner and start living like a steward, money stops seducing you and starts serving you. Write this down. Until I see money as trust, I will treat it like a toy. Some of you think legacy is what happens when you are old and gray. I've got news for you. Legacy is a daily decision about allocation. Every budget line is a vote you cast for the future. Every hour on your calendar is a seed you plant in the soil of tomorrow. Every relationship you nurture is a trellis for fruit you haven't seen yet. Eagles, I want you to begin to ask one question about everything in your life. Does this serve my assignment? Ask it over your spending. Ask it over your studying. Ask it over your subscriptions and your associations. If it does not serve assignment, it is stealing from legacy. Let me push you because time is short and the cemetery is patient. Stop posting purchases and start publishing purpose. Stop financing yesterday and start funding tomorrow. Stop calling consumption self-care when it is actually self-sabotage. You are the rare breed called eagle. You are the exception. Refuse to live on the ground, picking at leftovers when heaven has given you laws that live. Write it down. I will measure wealth by obedience fulfilled, not by opinions impressed. So here is the transition to your next level. If provision is about assignment, then you must learn how heaven funds assignments through laws, not lottery. Authorization precedes provision. Purpose is the pipeline. When you align with stewardship, when you pursue mastery, when you sow seed by principle, when you build systems to hold increase, the flow becomes predictable, the anxiety diminishes, and your mission gets resources on schedule. That's why we will not play games with this. We are going to uproot the gambler and train the governor in you. Say it with me one more time. I will not add to the wealth of the cemetery. I will sow my seeds in living soil. I will align with law, not luck. Give yourself a hand, Eagles. Because the moment you decide to connect money to mission, heaven begins to move inventory. And as we take the next step together, I will show you creator design economics, how provision flows where purpose is obeyed, so that long before you die, your assignment is funded, your envelope is empty, and your legacy is alive. Join me at the top. Listen to me like your future's on the line, because it is. I got news for you. The kingdom is not broke. Heaven is not in recession. The inventory of ideas, relationships, opportunities, and resources is not the problem. Alignment is the problem. Write this down. God funds what he authorizes. He does not finance rebellion. He does not underwrite ego. He does not pay invoices. He did not issue In the kingdom, authorization precedes provision. Purpose is the pipeline. Say with me, purpose is the pipeline. Louder, purpose is the pipeline. I want you to see this like a port city. Ships loaded with supply are anchored just off the shore, waiting for customs clearance. Your calling is customs. Your obedience is the stamp. Without authorization, the cargo stays offshore, and you think heaven is stingy while heaven is waiting on your signature. Write this down. Misalignment is the blockade, not the economy, not your neighbor, not your background. Misalignment blocks access. Alignment opens lanes. Now let me define kingdom wealth so you do not get seduced by counterfeits. Kingdom wealth is managed resources for kingdom purposes. It is the wise governance of money, assets, relationships, ideas, and time so that the king's agenda advances in the earth through your assignment. It is not self-exaltation. It is not a parade of purchases. It is not an identity substitute. Stewardship keeps you safe. Owners get drunk on image. Stewards stay sober on mission. Owners say mine. Stewards say his on loan. Write that down. Wealth is a trust, not a trophy. If you carry it like a trust, it will travel safely through you to what you were born to fund. If you carry it like a trophy, it will trap you in rooms where pigeons clap and your purpose starves. I came to dismantle superstition. These laws I am about to give you are not manipulation. They are not magical thinking. They are not greed dressed in Bible verses. They are not entitlement in a church suit. They are patterns consistent with design. Fire burns whether you feel holy or not, because fire obeys laws. Provision flows where purpose is obeyed, because the Creator embedded order into his universe. Please write this down. God's favor is not a substitute for God's pattern. Favor opens doors. Pattern keeps you inside the room. Favor accelerates. Pattern stabilizes. If you want stable increase, submit to stable laws. Now, I am going to give you 4 governing principles. Write them down. These are laws of provision and stewardship, and they will be our map for the rest of this journey. Number 1, stewardship over ownership. You don't possess it, you manage it. When you live like a steward, money stops controlling you and starts serving the assignment. A steward allocates according to instruction, accounts for every increase, and refuses to finance pride. Number 2, money follows mastery. Skill, excellence, and value create demand. God can bless you, but he will not excuse you from growth. Your level of mastery sets your level of value, and value attracts currency. Number 3, seed, not spare change. Generosity is a system, not a mood. Increase is not produced by emotion. It is produced by seed placed under law. You do not tip your future. You sow into it on schedule. Number 4, accountability and systems. Every increase demands structure. God can increase you overnight, but only systems can keep you increased. Without budgets, metrics, and standard practices, you will leak what you labored to receive. These laws are not separate from your spirituality. They are the manifestation of your spirituality. Spiritual and practical are not enemies. They are married partners in kingdom economic. Prayer aligns your heart. Budgeting aligns your dollars. Fasting sharpens your focus. Calendars protect your priorities. Faith sees the future. Systems make the future repeatable. Prophecy reveals potential. Training turns potential into production. Write this down. Anointing is oil. Systems are the engine. Oil without an engine makes a mess. An engine without oil burns out. You need both. Let me confront a lie hiding in religious language. If God wants me to have it, he will just give it to me. No, he will give you authorization, instruction, an opportunity, and then he will watch stewardship translate authorization into manifestation. The Creator told the eagle to fly, but the eagle still spreads wings, angles into the wind, and uses the law of lift. Eagles do not call gravity a demon. They align with design and ride the wind. Are there eagles in this room? Then write this down. Obedience is my aerodynamics. The more I align, the less I strive. Consider water as a picture. Rain is generous, but without gutters and channels, it floods your yard and is wasted. Build channels and you irrigate fields. Some of you have had seasons of sudden rain, ideas, contacts, opportunities, and you thought favor failed because the field looked muddy after. No, you lack gutters. Systems turn downpours into harvest. Budgeting is a gutter. A skill plan is a gutter. A giving strategy is a gutter. A scoreboard of key numbers is a gutter. Channels convert mercy into multiplication. Let me bring this to your kitchen table. Kingdom wealth shows up in habits. It looks like a calendar that protects your craft from interruption. It looks like weekly training blocks where you practice until excellence becomes normal. It looks like automated allocations where every dollar is told where to go before it arrives. It looks like reconciled books, clear invoices, signed contracts, and delivery standards. It looks like mentors who are authorized to correct you and metrics that refuse to flatter you. Write this down. What you do weekly predicts what you experience yearly. Laws love rhythm. Heaven funds rhythm. And hear my heart, this is not about greed. We are not building bonds to worship our bonds. We are building capacity to feed assignments. Kingdom wealth does not turn you into a hoarder. It turns you into a distributor. The river that stops flowing becomes a swamp. Keep the current moving. Assign your abundance before it arrives. This portion to expansion, this portion to training the next generation, this portion to compassion projects, this portion to reserves that honor prudence, this portion to reinvestment in the very engine that creates value. Tell your neighbor, my money will have a mission. Say it again. Until your fear hears you. So here is your revelation settled like steel in your spirit. In the kingdom, authorization precedes provision. Purpose is the pipeline. You do not chase money, you obey purpose. You do not seduce favor, you steward instruction. You do not gamble with your life, you govern it by law. And when you align, the wind that threatened to toss you will carry you to altitude. Write this last line for today. I will submit to design so supply can submit to me. Give yourself a hand, Eagles, because the moment you accept creator design economics, anxiety loses its lease in your life and clarity takes the keys. Now lean in, because we will walk these laws step by step. We will tear down the idol of ownership and lift up stewardship. We will cultivate mastery until demand finds you. We will sow seed by schedule and see increase by seasons. We will build systems that keep you increased through storms. Your purpose is about to become a pipeline, and before you die, your assignment will be funded, your envelope will be empty, and your legacy will be alive. Are there eagles ready to join me at the top? Then write it down, say it aloud, and get ready to move. Authorization first, provision follows. Principle 1. Ownership is with God. Stewardship is with you. Write that down. Say it again so your ego hears it and your fear trembles. Ownership is with God. Stewardship is with me. Give yourself a hand, because that sentence, if you obey it, will dismantle two of the biggest strongholds in your financial life: pride and panic. The moment you stop pretending to be the owner and accept the assignment of steward, money loses its power to seduce you with status and to threaten you with scarcity. The owner carries the weight of supply. The steward carries the weight of management. You were never built to be the source. You were designed to be the channel. Let me define stewardship so we are not talking smoke. Write this down. Stewardship is the faithful, skillful management of what belongs to another for the purpose the owner intends. It means you don't decide meaning, you execute mandate. You don't treat resources like souvenirs. You treat them like sacred trust. This instantly kills pride, because it is not yours to boast about. You didn't originate it, you administrate it. And it instantly kills fear, because the responsibility to replenish is on the owner. Your job is alignment, accounting, and application. Look at your neighbor and tell him, I am trusted, not entitled. Now say it to yourself, because some of you haven't heard your own faith in weeks. Let me expose two poverty mindsets that masquerade as wisdom. The first is, it's mine. That sounds responsible until you watch what it produces: hoarding, anxiety, and ego. Its mind knots your fist so tight that nothing escapes and nothing enters. You stop giving because you're terrified of loss. You measure identity by accumulation, so every dip in the account feels like a dip in your value. You begin to buy to impress because image has become your God and money your incense. Then you lie to yourself and call it security. But you know in the quiet that you're living handcuffed to your possessions. Write this down. A clenched fist cannot receive instruction and cannot receive increase. The second poverty mindset is I deserve. Now listen, I love you enough to confront you. I deserve is entitlement dressed in designer clothes. It leads to impulsive spending because you turn money into therapy and purchases into painkillers. You celebrate payday with penalties. You upgrade lifestyle before you upgrade wisdom. You use tomorrow's income to finance today's mood. You label it self-care, but your future calls it self-sabotage. And when pressure comes, you blame the economy. When in truth, you have been tipping your emotions and starving your assignment. Write this down. Entitlement spends like a king with no kingdom. Stewardship spends like an ambassador on mission. Eagles, hear me. Eagles don't beg the nest for food, they learn the laws of flight. Baby eagles feel the thorns in the nest and are pushed to the edge, and in the discomfort they discover wings. In the same way, stewards don't chase money, they manage responsibility. You can beg for bread or you can build a budget. You can wait on luck or you can work a law. You can envy the owner or you can excel as a manager until the owner promotes you. Say it with me. I will fly by law, not crawl by luck. Here is how stewardship behaves in real life. Write this down. Track, plan, assign, measure. If you will master these 4 verbs, you will disarm chaos. Track means you know where it went. If you don't measure, your money will mock you. Every steward keeps receipts, reconciles accounts, knows the inflows and the outflows. You cannot govern what you refuse to look at. Plan means you tell it where to go before it arrives. A budget is not bondage, it is permission for purpose. Budgets are the gutters that turn rain into irrigation. Assign means every dollar has a job description, this portion to mission, this to mastery, this to generosity, this to reserves, this to systems. Money must have instruction or it will run wild like unsupervised children in a supermarket grabbing everything shiny. Measure means you create a scoreboard and you let the numbers speak. Weekly reviews, monthly reports, quarterly adjustments. Write this down. What gets measured gets multiplied under law. Some of you live like landlords over your paycheck, collecting rent from your own soul and then evicting your future when the month gets tight. Stop it. You are not the owner. You are the manager of an estate. The owner has objectives. When you submit to his purpose, he releases more inventory because faithful managers get larger territories. I got news for you. Promotion in the kingdom is not political, it is principled. Be faithful with little, be ruler over much. That is not poetry, that is policy. Let me bring it closer. If I handed you a company car and a corporate card and said, this belongs to the owner, drive it for meetings, fuel it for mission, service it on schedule, bring back reports, how would you act? You would watch the mileage. You would keep the maintenance log. You refuse to use the card to impress your friends because you know every swipe must match assignment. That is stewardship. Now write this down. My bank account is a company card for my calling. If you use the card for ego, you will be audited by life. If you use it for assignment, you will be authorized for more limits. Pride dies when you realize the harvest came through you, not from you. Fear dies when you realize the supplier is the owner whose resources do not deplete. When a deal falls through, owners panic because their identity is threatened. Stewards pivot because the mission remains. When a bill arrives, owners feel attacked. Stewards feel alerted and adjust allocation. When unexpected money arrives, owners boast, stewards brief. Here is how we will deploy this toward purpose. Write this down. Stewards make decisions by principle, not by pressure. I want to confront your language because language is access. Stop saying, I made this money, and start saying, I was trusted with this revenue. Stop saying, I can't afford to give, and start saying, I can't afford to violate the law of circulation. Stop saying, someday I'll get organized, and start saying, today I will behave as a manager, not a gambler. Tell your neighbor, I am the rare breed called eagle. I am a steward under law. Say it again, until shame loosens its grip. Let me give you a simple stewardship framework you can implement this week, so we turn motivation into motion. Number one, open 2 checking accounts if you have one, operations and mission. Operations pays bills and handles regular expenses. Mission funds your calling, trainings, tools, team building, generosity. This creates visible lanes for purpose. Number 2, automate your assignments. On payday, your money moves by instruction. A percentage to reserves, a percentage to mission, a percentage to giving, a percentage to mastery development, the rest to operations. Automation is humility. It admits moods change, but laws must lead. Number 3, schedule a weekly money meeting with yourself or your household, 15 minutes. Review spending, compare the plan, adjust allocations, and write down one decision that serves mission. Number 4, create a 1-page stewardship report each month with 4 numbers: total income, mission allocation, reserve growth, and debt reduction or investment increase. Put it on your fridge like an Eagles scoreboard. Numbers don't lie. Let them coach you. Some of you are thinking, but what if I lose it? That is the voice of ownership fear. Stewards say, if it moves, I manage. If it leaves, I learn. If it returns, I reassign. Loss does not lower your dignity. It invites you to refine your design. Others are thinking, but I worked hard. I deserve a treat. Listen to me. Pleasure is not the enemy. Disorder is. Enjoyment under assignment is holy. Indulgence against assignment is sabotage. Give yourself rest by schedule. Give yourself joy by budget. Give yourself dignity by discipline. Write this down. Joy planned is joy preserved. Joy impulsed is joy taxed. Eagles, you cannot fly with bags of clutter on your back. Owners collect bags. Stewards curate tools. Owners stack trophies. Stewards build treasuries. Owners chase applause. Stewards chase alignment. Owners are controlled by money. Stewards command money to serve mission. Say it with me. When I stop acting like an owner and start living like a steward, money stops controlling me and starts serving purpose. Louder, again. Let that settle into your bones. Here is the promise attached to principle 1. When the owner finds a manager who accounts, allocates, and advances purpose without worshiping the resources, he trusts them with more. That is why some of you feel a lid. Heaven is waiting on your report, not your request. Submit your report. Show your plan, your assignment, your metrics, and watch authorization expand. This is not theory. This is testimony. I have seen people in small rooms with small checks become conduits for massive impact because they chose stewardship over showmanship. And I have seen people with big salaries live small lives because ownership pride chained their potential to a mirror. So today, make the shift. Close the chapter on it's mine and I deserve, and open the book called I Am Entrusted. Track, plan, assign, measure. Treat money like a trainee who needs your supervision and a soldier who follows your orders. Give every dollar a mission and a deadline. Let your bank statement read like a strategy document, not like a diary of moods. And as you do, you will feel the anxiety break, the pride bow, and the river begin to flow with rhythm. Are there eagles in this room ready to manage what they once tried to own? Then raise your head, write it down, and say it one more time. Ownership is with God, stewardship is with me. And because I am a steward under law, my money will serve my mission before I die. Now join me at the top as we prepare for the next law, because after stewardship, mastery will set your value and demand will come looking for you. Money follows mastery. Write that down again. Say it with me. Money follows mastery. Louder so your excuses get nervous. Money follows mastery. I got news for you, Eagles. God can bless you, but he will not excuse you from growing. In the kingdom, miracles are not a replacement for mastery. They are a reward for alignment with design. If stewardship is the posture, mastery is the proof. Stewardship says, I am trusted. Mastery says, I am useful. And the market is not moved by your moods. It is moved by your usefulness under pressure. Write this down. Mastery is not a moment. It is a marriage, learning plus practice plus refinement. Learning feeds your mind with patterns. Practice trains your hands until excellence becomes normal. Refinement removes the noise so precision can speak. You cannot binge watch greatness in a weekend. You cannot keep asking for harvest when you refuse to plant skill. Some of you have been praying for promotion while hiding from practice. Stop using prayer to avoid preparation. Prayer aligns you with heaven. Preparation aligns you with competence. And when purpose and competence shake hands, provision cannot resist. Let me talk to the rare breed called eagle. Pigeons want quick cash. Eagles want skill that produces cash repeatedly. Pigeons peck at crumbs around convenience stores. Eagles lock on targets a mile away and take their time in the wind, because eagles know that what you build slowly will feed you steadily. Pigeons gossip. Eagles grind. Pigeons post. Eagles practice. Pigeons want applause now. Eagles want authority later. Tell your neighbor, I am not a pigeon. Say it again. I am the exception. I am an eagle. If you still need the crowd, you are not ready for mastery, because mastery is lonely. It is mornings before sunrise. It is evenings after others quit. It is reading when your phone begs you to scroll. It is drills when your feelings beg you to drift. Write this down. Excellence is expensive, but so is mediocrity. One pays up front, the other pays forever. Now I want to teach you the law of value exchange. People do not pay you for your time. They pay you for the value delivered within that time. The market rewards accuracy, reliability, speed, creativity, and trust. Write those 5 down. Accuracy, hit the target. Reliability, do it every time. Speed, deliver without delay. Creativity, solve in ways others can't see. Trust, protect the relationship while you perform. If you raise your value in those 5, your demand will rise whether you are in Lagos or London, whether you are a coder, a contractor, a counselor, a caterer, a cleaner, or a CEO. Money is a receipt the world gives you for solving a problem. Increase the problem you solve and the precision with which you solve it, and the receipts will increase by law. Let me confront this lazy theology. If God wants me to be wealthy, he will just make a way. Yes, he will make a way, and the way is called skill. David met Goliath with anointing on his head and accuracy in his sling. Joseph had favor in his spirit and systems in his mind. Daniel had revelation in the night and excellence in his work, so the king could not find fault. Write this down. Favor attracts attention. Mastery sustains position. God will open a door you did not deserve, but if you do not develop, that same door will become a mirror showing you unprepared. Eagles, here is your pathway. Write it down like a blueprint. Number 1, identify your highest value problem you can solve. Ask, what pain do I remove? What target do I hit? What outcome can I deliver consistently? Your calling is not vague. It has a problem address. Number 2, choose a lane and narrow it until you become rare. Generalists survive. Specialists are sought. If you can serve everyone, you will impress no one. Number 3, build a 90-day skill plan. Daily drills, weekly projects, monthly assessments, read 3 core books, take 1 advanced course, shadow 1 proven practitioner. Mastery is measurable set metrics. Number 4, produce proof. Create case studies, prototypes, before and after images, testimonials, sample bills, demo reels. Proof shuts the mouth of doubt. Number 5, raise your standards. On time means early. Replies within 24 hours. Version control, quality checklists, pre-delivery audits. Excellence is not personality, it is process. Number 6, price by value, not by insecurity. When you solve high-value problems with reliability and speed, price must honor the transformation you deliver. If you underprice, you under-respect your stewardship. Number 7, establish feedback loops. Ask for critique from mentors who are authorized to offend you. Improvement is hidden inside feedback you didn't want to hear. Number 8, practice under pressure. Simulate the storm so the storm doesn't surprise you. Time your tasks. Present to difficult audiences. Work with constraints. Eagles love storms because storms reveal lift. Number 9, teach what you know. The best way to master is to mentor. If you can't explain it simply, you don't know it deeply. Number 10, audit your week. Law loves rhythm. If you didn't train, you didn't choose mastery, you chose fantasy. Everybody say with me, provision often comes through competence. Again, provision often comes through competence. Some of you are praying for clients while avoiding calendars. You are prophesying growth while procrastinating growth habits. You want to be paid like a surgeon while training like a hobbyist. Write this down. You cannot withdraw at a level you refuse to deposit. Deposits are hours, sweat, scars, iterations, and the humility to admit you are not there yet. The cemetery is full of people who wanted to be discovered. The top is full of people who decided to develop. Listen, I am not telling you this from theory. I have sat with leaders of nations, negotiated complex challenges, built teams across continents, and I can tell you why doors stayed open, not because we shouted the loudest, but because excellence kept its appointments. Excellence is a missionary. It enters rooms your accent cannot. Excellence is a passport. It gets stamped in places where your resume stalls. Write this down. Mastery is magnetic. It organizes your tomorrow. When you become excellent at solving a real problem, your calendar starts to fill itself. You stop chasing. You start choosing. That is what stewardship plus mastery does. It gives you options. Let me talk about speed and accuracy. The market pays a premium for accuracy because it reduces risk. The market pays a premium for speed because it saves time. The market pays a premium for creativity because it unlocks hidden value. The market pays a premium for trust because it lowers anxiety. If you can deliver accurate solutions quickly, creatively, and with trustworthy character, your name will be called even in rooms you never entered. Put your hand on your chest and declare, I am becoming rare in usefulness. Not rare in attitude, rare in usefulness. Some of you say, but I'm in a boring job. Good. Boredom is where excellence is born. Use your current assignment as a training ground. Document processes. Solve inefficiencies. Learn a tool deeper than your title demands. Become the person who fixes what others complain about. Write this down. The person who solves the problem decides the price. If you keep refusing small problems, you will never be trusted with bigger ones. Promotion is not political. It is principle. Problems climb toward people who can carry them. Let me expose the pigeon in your habits. Pigeons inflate biographies. Eagles inflate capacity. Pigeons spend hours on presentation. Eagles spend hours on preparation. Pigeons price from fear. Eagles price from value. Pigeons beg for tips. Eagles build systems. Stop counting followers and start counting finished reps. Stop chasing inspiration and start scheduling repetition. Inspiration is a spark. Repetition is a forge. Write this down. Mastery lives in the calendar. Show me your last 7 days and I will show you your next 7 years. Now, let me combine prayer with practice so you don't mishear me. Pray before you practice so you aim at the right target. Pray after you practice so pride doesn't poison your progress. Fast to sharpen focus, then study to sharpen skill. Worship to align your heart, then work to align your hands. Heaven is not allergic to sweat. Heaven authored seasons and cycles so growth could be measured. Tell your neighbor, I will pray like it depends on God and prepare like it depends on me. Say it again. Until laziness feels unwelcome. I want to give you a simple mastery scoreboard. 4 numbers to track weekly. Write it down. Hours trained on core skill. Assets produced that prove value. Response time to clients or stakeholders. Error rate or rework percentage. If those 4 numbers move in the right direction for 12 weeks, your bank account will get the memo without you manipulating anything. Because money follows mastery. And when demand rises, steward it with boundaries so quality does not erode. Remember, reliability is part of value. Finally, let me speak courage into your refinement. Mastery will embarrass you before it elevates you. You will hear your first recordings and cringe. You will see your first designs and blush. You will watch your early leadership and repent. Good. That is the sound of progress. Eagles test before they trust even their own wings. Keep testing, keep tightening, keep trimming the feathers that slow you. Write this down. My future pays me for the refinements I make in private. If you will embrace the grind will introduce you to greatness. So eagles, stand tall inside. Money follows mastery. God will bless the work of your hands, not the wish of your heart. Your level of mastery sets your level of value, and value attracts currency. Choose your problem, build your plan, produce your proof, raise your standards, and become rare in usefulness. Then watch what happens. Calls you did not expect, rooms you did not request, opportunities tailored to your preparation. Give yourself a hand if you receive this law. Now write it one last time and say it with me like a decree over your week. Money follows mastery. And because I am an eagle under law, my competence will carry provision to my purpose before I die. Law number 3, seed, not spare change. Write that down. Say it with me so your habits can hear it. Generosity is a system, not a mood. I got news for you, eagles. Emotion is not an economic engine. Seed is. Increase isn't produced by goosebumps. It is produced by seed placed under law. The Creator designed the planet on cycles. Seed, time, harvest. And if you keep treating seed like a tip, you will keep calling scarcity an attack when it is simply a report card. Let me define seed. Because confusion creates poverty. Write this down. Seed is an intentional investment today designed to produce a predictable harvest tomorrow. It includes giving to mission, yes, but not only giving. It includes saving to create margin. It includes learning to upgrade capacity. It includes tools to multiply output. It includes mentorship to shorten your learning curve. It includes business inputs, marketing, prototypes, research, team development, anything planted now that multiplies value later. Seed leaves your hand, but it does not leave your life. It enters your future and waits for you there under law. I must correct 2 extremes because both of them are thieves. The first is manipulation, the give to get superstition that tries to bribe God like he is a slot machine at a casino. We don't buy blessings, we obey design. We sow in alignment, not in anxiety. The other extreme is fear, the I can't afford to give. Excuse that sounds prudent, but really means I will violate circulation and call it wisdom. Listen to me. You cannot afford to break a law and then expect a miracle to be your maintenance plan. Write this down. I do not sow to impress God. I sow to express trust and to engage law. Now let's make this practical and lawful because eagles don't throw crumbs. They plant strategies. Stewardship-based generosity works by system. Decide your percentages. Don't wait on a mood. Moods are moody. Choose it in the light so you won't argue in the dark. For example, this is a model, not a prison set, a fixed percentage for generosity, a percentage for reserves, a percentage for mastery development, a percentage for investments, and the remainder for operations. Put it on paper, automate it. On payday, your money must move by instruction, not by impulse. I want you to write this down. Generosity by schedule builds impact. Generosity by impulse builds regret. Target your impact. You are not an ATM. You are a steward. Choose the fields you will plant in 3 to 5 causes or missions that align with your assignment. Your local house of faith, a scholarship fund for future eagles, a community project that solves a real problem, a mentor you honor, a strategic partnership that advances your calling. Vet them. Measure outcomes. If your seed does not have a field, it becomes bird food for pigeons with clever stories. Tell your neighbor, I plant in fields, not in feelings. Avoid emotional generosity that creates chaos at home. I love you enough to confront you. Some of you are generous in public and delinquent in private. You sow to applause and then bring anxiety to your household. That is not holy. That is disorder. Write this down. Generosity that violates stewardship is not faith, it is folly. If your giving habit destabilizes your budget, you are tipping your emotions and taxing your family. Emotional giving is expensive. Systemic giving is expensive. Eagles give with precision. Stewards write agreements. This is our percentage. This is our calendar. This is our field. That way, when a new request arrives, you already have an answer. We are honored, but our assignment is pre-committed. Let me introduce you to a word that separates pigeons from eagles: margin. You cannot be consistently generous without consistently governed finances. No margin, no mission. Write that down. If you live at 100% consumption, you are eating your seed. Reduce lifestyle creep so mission can breathe. Create room in your budget so when an opportunity arises, you don't panic, you plant. Decide a ceiling for lifestyle, not a floor for giving. When income increases, increase percentages to mission before you increase pressure on your lifestyle. That is how eagles stay light enough to fly high. Now let's talk storms, because many of you are generous until pressure comes. When inflation bites, when the deal falls through, when a surprise bill arrives, pigeons panic and consume seed. Eagles protect seed and plant with wisdom. The farmer does not eat the bag marked seed when the weather turns. He adjusts timing. He studies soil. He sows in faithfulness because he knows famine is temporary, but law is permanent. Write this down. Storms change schedules, not systems. Pressure is not a license to break principle. It is a test to prove it. When the winds rise, plant deeper in trusted fields, diversify plots, and lengthen your patience, but do not violate the seed law. Eagles love storms because storms spread seed further than calm winds ever could. Let me give you a seed architecture you can implement this week so we translate revelation into rhythm. Number one, open a dedicated seed account. This is not your operation account. This is your future field fund. Automate transfers every income cycle according to your percentages. Number two, build a seed. List 12 intentional seeds for the next 12 months. 4 giving seeds: mission, mentorship, honor, benevolence within boundaries, strategic partnerships. 4 growth seeds: courses, certifications, conferences, coaching. 2 tool seeds: software, equipment that multiplies accuracy or speed. 2 market seeds: prototypes, marketing tests. Put dates next to each one and the expected harvest window: 30, 90, 180, or 365 days. Write this down. A seed unplanned is a seed unlikely. Number 3, pre-approve your surprise gifts. Decide now the 3 emergency categories you will support and the cap for each. When the call comes, you won't scramble, you will deploy. Number 4, pair every seed with stewardship. If you sow into learning, schedule study hours. If you buy a tool, build the workflow that exploits it. If you fund a mission, schedule a quarterly report to review outcomes. Seed without stewardship becomes sentimental. Seed with stewardship becomes exponential. Number 5, create a seed review on the first Sunday of each month. 15 minutes. How much was sown, in which fields, and what early sprouts are visible. Adjust, don't abandon. I can hear someone say, but my seed is small. That is the language of shame, not stewardship. The law does not measure size. It measures sincerity, consistency, and alignment. Start with 1% if you must, then 2, then 5, then 10. Scale your obedience. I got news for you. A planted seed, however small, has a louder future than a hoarded dollar with a loud excuse. The cemetery is full of people who waited to be rich before they became generous, and they died with full pockets and empty legacies. Do not add to the wealth of the cemetery. Sow now, within law, within wisdom, within assignment. Another voice says, but I gave and nothing happened. Patience, eagle. Harvests have calendars you don't control. And ask yourself courageous questions. Did I sow in a field aligned with my purpose? Did I pair the seed with stewardship? Did I plant consistently or only when I felt inspired? Did I protect margin Or did I dig up my seed with panic spending? Write this down. Results are faithful to the recipe. Seed plus soil plus season plus stewardship equals harvest. If a result is missing, investigate the missing ingredient, not the integrity of the law. Let me confront image giving for a moment. Pigeons throw crumbs where cameras can see them. Eagles sow quietly where purpose can measure it. You are not auditioning for applause. You are authorizing impact. Give with dignity, not with drama. When you honor a mentor, do it because you value wisdom, not because you crave proximity. When you support a mission, do it because you saw the fruit, not because the pitch was eloquent. Write this down. My seed is a strategy, not a show. Now put your hand on your heart and declare it with me. I am a steward under law. My generosity is a system, not a mood. My seed serves my assignment before I die. Again, louder so your fear gets nervous. Increase isn't produced by emotion. It's produced by seed under law. If you believe that, give yourself a hand, because today you just evicted scarcity from your language and installed a planting calendar in its place. Eagles, here is your 7-day activation. Day 1, finalize your percentages and open the seed account. Day 2, build your seed list with dates and fields. Day 3, automate transfers and pre-approved surprise gifts with caps. Day 4, identify 2 growth seeds you will plant this month, a course and a mentor session, and schedule the hours. Day 5, choose 1 tool seed that will raise accuracy or speed and define how it will be used weekly. Day 6, pick a mission field and set up recurring support with reporting. Day 7, conduct your first seed review and speak over your plan. I plant by law. I harvest by law. Your calendar must carry your conviction. I want to close this law with a father's clarity. You do not have to be rich to be generous. You have to be governed. You do not have to feel inspired to sow. You have to be instructed. You do not have to guess your future. You have to plant it. Are there eagles in this room ready to move from spare change to seed strategy? Then lift your head, write it down, and say it one last time. I will not gamble with generosity. I will plant by design. And because I live by law, my seed will secure provision for my purpose consistently, sustainably, before I die. Now join me at the top, because after seed comes systems, and systems are what keep you increased. After seed comes systems. Write that down. Increase without structure is a curse. Write that down twice. Say it with me. Sow your blessing, here's instruction. Increase without structure is a curse. I got news for you, eagles. Unmanaged growth collapses. The weight of blessing will break a weak shelf. Some of you are not under attack. You are under structured. God can increase you overnight, but only systems can keep you increased. Shout that with me. Like a decree over your next season. God can increase me overnight, but only systems can keep me increased. Why does unmanaged growth collapse? Because overflow without banks becomes a flood, and floods drown villages that rivers were meant to feed. A river gives life because it has banks. Your money brings mission because it has boundaries. Write this down. Law loves containers. If there is no container, there is no containment. And if there is no containment, there is no continuation. Mastery created inflow. Money follows mastery. Seed multiplies generosity under law. Now systems protect and allocate what mastery attracted and seed multiplied, so nothing leaks, nothing drifts, nothing rots. Let's define a system so we don't spiritualize laziness. A system is a repeatable process that produces a predictable result under pressure. Not just a good idea when you feel holy. Not just a motivational quote on your wall. It lives in your calendar. It lives in your accounts. It lives in your permissions. It lives in your checklist. Write this down. You don't rise to your goals. You fall to your systems. Goals inspire. Systems preserve. Discipline is compassion for your future self. Every rule you write today is mercy for you in a storm tomorrow. I want to teach you about containers. Eagles build nests with auto sticks, then thorns, then down, because comfort without structure produces pigeons, not flyers. Your finances need containers. Number one, a budget. A budget is not punishment. It is purpose on paper. It tells every dollar where to go, so purpose does not have to beg. Set ceilings, not vibes. Decide the maximum, not the hope. Number two, separate accounts. Stop mixing mission money with lunch money. You need at least 5 banks in your river. Income, inbox, operations, spending, reserves, emergency, seed, giving, and taxes. Obligations. Add a profit surplus account if you run a business. Automate transfers today. Income arise. Money must move by design, not by drama. Tell your neighbor, I am creating banks for my river. Number 3, an emergency fund. No margin, no mission. 3 to 6 months of essentials. Park, boring, fenced. Emergencies are not the time to invent faith. They are the time to deploy wisdom. Number 4, a giving plan. We already set percentages, now add schedule and recipients. This goes out every month on the 3rd. That goes out quarterly with reporting. This honorarium is annual on your mentor's birthday. Number 5, a debt payoff plan. Interest is a tax on indecision. Choose your method, snowball for momentum or avalanche for math, but write the order, the payment amounts, and the dates and automate it. Number 6, documented processes at home and in business. How bills get paid, how receipts are captured, how invoices are issued, who approves what happens on the 1st, the 15th, and the last day of the month. If it lives only in your head, you are a risk to your own purpose. Write this down. Undocumented work is unsustainable work. Eagles test before they trust. Apply that to money. Stop marrying opportunities you only dated for a day. Vet partnerships, vet vendors, vet too good to be true returns. Write this down. Due diligence is love for your assignment. 7 tests before you sign anything. 1, assignment, alignment. Does this partnership advance your purpose or detour it? 2, math. Show me the unit economics. How does a dollar enter and exit? If the math hides, the truth lies. 3, risk. What can go wrong and how do we cap the downside? Put limits in writing. 4, reputation references from people who don't share their last name. 5, pilot. Start small, time bound, with clear milestones before you scale. 6, contract clarity, deliverables, deadlines, dispute resolution, exit clauses. Ambiguity is expensive. 7, money mechanics, escrow where needed, stage payments by milestone, and controls on your accounts. Everybody say with me, Eagles test before they trust. Create checks and balances. 2 signature rules over a certain amount. Separate the person who orders from the person who approves. Monthly bank reconciliations by someone who doesn't move the money. Vendor lists with onboarding steps and W-9S or local equivalents. Purchase orders before purchases, not after. A threshold for discretionary spend and a 4-hour cooling off rule for non-essential buys. Weekly money huddles, 15 minutes to review cash in, cash out, outstanding receivables, payables, and upcoming commitments. A monthly close. Produce a simple profit and loss, a cash flow snapshot, and a scoreboard with 5 numbers, giving percentage, savings rate, operating margin, runway days, and total debt balance. If you don't measure it, you can't manage it. If you won't face it, you can't fix it. Let me pass to your calendar for a moment. Systems live in time. Put your money on the calendar. First Monday, reconcile accounts. Every Friday, inbox to 0, bills queued. 3rd of the month, generosity disbursed. 10th, debt auto pay. 15th, tax set aside transfer. Last business day, review scoreboard, adjust percentages if life has changed. Write this down. What is not scheduled is not serious. You don't keep order by memory. You keep order by rhythm. Some of you are waiting on more to start systems. That's pigeon logic. Systems are not a luxury of the rich. They are the pathway to become responsibly resourced. If $10 have no order, 10,000 will only multiply your disorder. Remember, God can increase you overnight, but only systems can keep you increased. Your future self is begging you today, give me rails, give me rules, give me reporting so I don't drown in tomorrow's blessing. Storm economics, let me tie it in. Storms don't break systems, they reveal them. Pressure exposes leaks. Inflation tests whether you budgeted with margin. A delayed payment tests your runway. A vendor failure tests your backups and second sources. Eagles love storms because systems convert wind into lift. Write this down. Pressure is a systems audit. When you feel squeezed, don't panic, inspect. Where did the process fail? Which permission was missing? What step needs to be moved earlier? Use storms to upgrade structure. Now, some identity elevation. Pigeons live by impulse. Eagles live by instruction. Pigeons chase shiny. Eagles enforce sequence. Pigeons hope it works out. Eagles make it work by design. Put your hand on your chest and say, I am a steward under law. I live by systems. Again, louder so chaos leaves your house. I live by systems. Give yourself a hand if you are choosing banks for your river today. Let's get even more practical, because I want you to die empty, not confused. For the household, one written budget with category ceilings, one bill calendar, one emergency fund target with weekly transfer, one giving plan with dates, one debt order list, 1 2 4 hour pause rule, and one weekly money huddle with your spouse or accountability partner. For the business, one operating account, one tax account, one reserves account, one profit account, a documented invoice to cash process, a purchase to payment process, signatory limits, 2 signatures above a threshold, monthly close by the 5th, quarterly board or mentor review with your 5-number scoreboard. Write this down. Simplicity scales, complexity collapses. Start simple, start now, add layers as you grow. Some of you feel like systems will suffocate your creativity. No systems protect your creativity. Chaos taxes your brain. Order frees it. Systems are scaffolding while you build. They are not a cage, they are a cradle. Creativity without constraints becomes waste. Constraints focus brilliance. Ask any eagle. Wings have structure, feathers have order, and that is why they can dance with the wind. Your gifts will fly higher when your finances are framed. I need to confront private sloppiness masquerading as public success. If you are signing big deals while your receipts are in a shoebox, you are not blessed. You are building a bonfire for your future. If you post impact and ignore payroll taxes, that is not faith. That is foolishness. Repent by system. Write this down. Excellence is ethical. Systems are integrity. You can see. They honor God. They honor partners, they honor employees, and they honor your future self. Now, lift your head like an eagle and declare the law. God can increase me overnight, but only systems can keep me increased. Again, one more time so your calendar hears it. And because we are people under law and order, here is your immediate pivot. 2 actions in the next 48 hours. Open the reserves emergency account and automate a small transfer. Schedule your first one, 5-minute money huddle. That's it. Movement creates momentum, and momentum attracts mastery, seed, and sustainable increase. Eagles, I am pushing you because I love you. My greatest wish is that when you walk past the cemetery, you will smile, knowing you will not donate your potential to that ground. Systems are how you protect your seeds, steward your mastery, and fund your assignment before you die. Join me at the top, where increase is governed, generosity is scheduled, storms are audits, and purpose is fully financed because structure held it. Say it with me as we close this law. I am a steward. I build containers. I test before I trust. I don't rise to goals. I fall to systems. And because I live by law, God can increase me overnight, and systems will keep me increased. Eagles, listen carefully. Storms are not interruptions to your destiny. They are instruments of your development. I got news for you. The storm didn't come to break you. It came to raise your altitude if you apply the laws. Write that down. Say it with me. So your fear can hear your faith. The storm came to lift me. Again, louder. The storm came to lift me. Let's reframe what you are calling disaster. Layoffs, inflation, contracts delayed, a medical bill you didn't see coming, a parent who suddenly needs your support, a car transmission that chooses the worst week to surrender. Those are not random punishments. They are thorns in the nest. Mama eagle lines the nest with soft down for a season, but when eaglets must fly, she turns the comfort into a classroom. Thorns come through the feathers and say, up now. Pain becomes permission to leave what is familiar. Some of you feel the pricks, rent rising, groceries climbing, a deal falling through, and you think God has abandoned you. No, he is provoking your wings. Write this down. Thorns are messages fly now. Here is the binary choice under pressure, and I want you to say it with me. I will use this storm for depression or for altitude. Choose for panic spending or for focused stewardship, for shrinking back or for sharpening mastery, for complaint or for creativity, for breaking law or for obeying law at a higher level. Eagles make decisions in storms. Pigeons make excuses. Tell your neighbor, I am not a pigeon, I'm an eagle. I choose altitude. Eagles love storms because storms create updrafts. Scientists tell us an eagle locks its wings and lets the currents do the lifting. It doesn't flap harder, it positions wiser. That is storm economics. When pressure rises, you don't abandon the 4 laws. You apply them with precision. Stewardship, protect the core and tell every dollar where to stand at attention. Master, use the storm to upgrade your value. Seed, continue sowing by system, not by mood. Systems tighten process, remove leaks, enforce rhythms. Write this down. Storms don't change laws, storms confirm them. Let me give you storm rules. Number 1, protect the core needs. Food, shelter, utilities, essential transport, medications, and the minimum obligations that keep your name clean. Those stand first in line. Everything else waits. A fancy dinner is not a necessity. Insurance is. Streaming upgrades are not a necessity. Keeping the lights on is. In a storm, you fund pillars, not pillows. Number 2, cut leakage immediately. Cancel subscriptions you forgot you had. Call vendors and renegotiate rates. Remove auto pays that no longer serve your assignment, and stop paying the laziness tax called late fees. Write this down. Interest and fees are storms I create. Order is how I stop them. Number 3, increase learning while others increase scrolling. Storms are classrooms. Convert 2 hours a day from entertainment to education. Choose one skill aligned with your assignment and raise it 1 level. Take the course. Finish the certification, schedule the mentor session, and practice daily. Money follows mastery, especially in storms, because people pay for solutions, not sympathy. Number 4, diversify income streams ethically and within assignment. This is not the time for gambling. This is the time for wise pilots. Turn your competence into a micro offer, a weekend consulting session, a small retainer, a service package, a template, a tutorial, a repaired item, overtime that doesn't break your family, or a short-term contract that multiplies your credibility. Start small, time-bound, milestone-based. Write this down. Eagles test before they trust, especially new income. Number 5, communicate with your family and your team. Storms break secrets before they break budgets. Sit down for a money huddle. No shame, no blame, just clarity. Here is our income. Here is our core. Here is our leak list. Here is our timeline. Here is our role assignment. Children can carry identity if you lead them. We are eagles. Storms lift us. Spouses can carry unity if you call them partners, not problems. Teams can carry morale if you tell the truth and assign the plan. Silence multiplies fear. Conversation multiplies ownership. Number 6, keep giving intentional. Do not eat the bag marked seed. If income tightens, percentages may flex within wisdom for a season, but the system remains. We sow in alignment, not in anxiety. Choose your fields, keep your schedule, and pair your seed with stewardship. Write this down. Storms change amounts, not alignment. Number 7, enforce your systems like an air traffic controller. The budget is non-negotiable. The 5 accounts are non-negotiable. The weekly reconcile is non-negotiable. The scoreboard giving rate, savings rate, operating margin, runway days, and total debt is reviewed on schedule, not on vibes. Storms expose squeaks. Oil the hinges. Delete steps that add nothing. Add checks where leaks appeared. Put 2 signatures on spans above your threshold. Move the money the day it arrives. If you don't measure it, you can't manage it. If you won't face it, you can't fix it. Everybody say with me, pressure is a systems audit. I must confront 2 storm mistakes because I love you. First mistake, emotional purchases as anesthesia. Pain shopping will prolong your winter. You cannot medicate fear with packages at the door. Write this down. Comfort that cost structure is counterfeit comfort. Second mistake, spiritualizing disorder. I'm believing for a miracle. Cannot be code for breaking laws and calling the outcome persecution. The God who multiplies loaves still asks, how many do you have? Count, govern, decide, then expect. Faith does not replace law. It compels obedience to it. Storms also refine relationships. In pressure, pigeons circle your crumbs. Eagles share solutions. Audit your company. Who brings ideas? Who brings worry? Who brings guilt trips? Who brings excellence? You become like the flock you fly with. If your conversations in a storm are only complaints, your altitude will match your dialogue. Choose counsel with fruit, not just opinion with volume. Write this down. Wisdom is oxygen in a storm. Now, identity, lift your head. Eagles, this is what we were born for. We do not flap in panic. We lock our wings of principle and ride the wind of pressure higher than we have ever been. Mature stewards do their best thinking in a storm because urgency kills procrastination and clarity kills bloat. Your schedule gets holy. Your spending gets sober. Your skill gets sharp. Your generosity gets strategic. Your systems get tight. And your purpose gets funded, not someday now, under pressure before you die. I want you to declare some things with me. Put your hand on your heart. Say, I use pressure for altitude again. I protect the core. I cut the leaks. I increase my learning. I diversify ethically. I communicate clearly. I give intentionally. I enforce systems. One more. Storms don't change my laws. Storms confirm them. Here is your immediate pivot, so inspiration becomes instruction today. Before you sleep tonight, complete a 30-minute storm audit. List your core needs. List 3 leaks to cut. List 1 skill to raise. List 1 ethical micro-income pilot you will test in the next 14 days. Schedule a money huddle with your household and reconfirm your giving fields and dates. That is it. Movement creates momentum, and storms amplify momentum faster than clear skies ever could. My greatest dream and wish for you is this, that when you walk past the cemetery, the wealthiest place on earth, you will smile and say, I didn't let a storm bury my wings. You will not donate your potential to that ground. You will take the winds meant to break you and use them to fund your assignment, elevate your identity, and engrave your legacy. Are there eagles in this room? Then join me at the top. The storm has arrived, but so have the laws. Now write this down and shout it like a decree over your next season. The storm didn't come to break me. It came to raise my altitude, and by law I will rise. Eagles, this is the moment where inspiration becomes instrumentation. Write that down. A law only works when it is applied. Your next 7 days must look different. Tell your neighbor, I'm not guessing anymore, I'm governing. Say it again. Until your emotions submit to your calendar, I'm governing. Governance is worship, because order is how you honor the one who trusted you with breath, with time, with opportunity, with resources. When you govern, you agree with design. When you guess, you gamble with destiny. I got news for you. Gamblers donate more to the cemetery than to their assignment. Stewards fund purpose before they die. Here is the steward's checklist. Simple, repeatable, non-negotiable. 1 budget, 1 skill plan, 1 seed plan, 1 scoreboard. Put your hand on your heart and declare it. 1 budget, 1 skill plan, 1 seed plan, 1 scoreboard. Again, simplicity scales, complexity collapses. We are building rhythm, not drama. First, the zero-based budget. Please write this down. Every dollar receives an assignment before the month begins, so purpose does not have to beg later. Income minus allocation equals zero. Not zero in the bank, zero in unassigned purpose. Categories in order of honor: seed, giving, reserves, emergency, core pillars, shelter, utilities, food, essential transport, medications, insurance, taxes, obligations, debt pay down, skill, mastery, investment, operations, discretionary, suggested starting rails, not commandments, but wisdom. Seed, 10%. Adjust by conviction, but be consistent. Reserves, 10% until you hit 3 to 6 months of essentials. Core pillars, 50-60% of take home. Skill, 5-10% in this quarter. If you are serious about mastery, debt, aggressive, beyond minimums, operations, the leftover after law is satisfied. If the math doesn't fit, it's not time to steal from seed. It's time to cut leakage and increase value. Write it down. I balance my lifestyle under my assignment, not my assignment under my lifestyle. Second, the debt reduction plan. Interest is a tax on indecision. Write that down and underline it. List every debt: balance, interest rate, minimum payment, due date. Choose your method with intent. The snowball, smallest balance first builds momentum. The avalanche, highest rate first optimizes math. I want you to decide today. Circle the target account and write 3 dates: projected payoff date, halfway milestone, celebration moment. Automate all minimums. Send every extra dollar to the target until it dies. When the target is buried, roll the full payment to the next in line. Do not celebrate by resurrecting another bill. Everyone say with me: I starve debts, I feed destiny. Third, the 90-day mastery plan, because money follows mastery, especially in storms. Pick one skill that is directly aligned with your assignment and market demand. 1, not 10. Clarity is compassion to your future self. Name your skill, name your outcome, name your buyer. Example: skill, financial analysis in my industry. Outcome: pass X certification and build a sample dashboard. Buyer: current employer, team upgrade, or freelance client. Now design your sprint. Time blocks: 45, 90 minutes a day, 5 days a week. Curriculum: 1 course, 1 book, 1 mentor session per month. Practice: weekly deliverable. Module 1 quiz by Friday. Sample project V1 by next Wednesday. Case study calls recorded twice this month. Portfolio: store proofs in a simple folder: before, after, metrics, testimonials. Monetization: schedule 1 pilot or offer by day 60 with clear scope and a small fee. Eagles test before they trust. Score it weekly: hours completed, module completed, 1 artifact created, 1 conversation advanced. Write this down. Growth by calendar, not by mood. Fourth, the seed plan generosity is a system, not a mood. Decide fields and dates. Fields: your local house, a mentor or source of wisdom, the poor, oppressed, a strategic assignment aligned cause. Percentages: set them and seal them. Do not negotiate with fear at 1 a.m. Schedule: disperse on the 3rd of every month, so seed goes out before lifestyle eats the bag. Reporting: for strategic fields, request or review impact updates quarterly, so your heart stays connected to your harvest. Add gleaning margin, a small monthly surprise benevolence envelope to respond to the spirit without exposing your structure. And pair seed with stewardship. Generosity without governance is sentiment. Generosity with systems is multiplication. Say it loud: I don't tip destiny, I sow on schedule. Now, your weekly rhythm, repeat after me: track, review, give, grow, score. Daily, 1 0-minute capture of every spend into your budget app or ledger. No receipt left wandering, no cash uncounted. If you don't measure it, you can't manage it. If you won't face it, you can't fix it. Money Monday: reconcile accounts, move money to your 5 banks. Income, operations, reserves, seed, taxes, pay scheduled bills, update your zero-based budget, and confirm the week's priorities. Wisdom Wednesday: 90 minutes of mastery, deep work, no notifications, no pigeons in your ear. Seed Saturday or the 3rd, whichever comes first that week. Execute your giving plan with thanksgiving and clarity. Scoreboard Friday, review 5 numbers: giving percentage, savings rate, operating margin, runway days, total debt balance. Name 1 improvement, 1 cut, 1 investment for next week. Weekly money huddle with spouse, partner, team, 15 minutes, agenda posted, no shame, just stewardship. Write it down. What is not scheduled is not serious. I want to give you a simple scoreboard template you can draw on a napkin today. Column 1, target. Column 2, current. Column 3, next action. Row A, giving percent. Target X percent. Current Y percent. Next action, scheduled transfer, adjust percent. Row B, savings rate, target X percent, current Y percent. Next action, move to reserves or adjust operations. Row C, operating margin, income minus essentials and obligations. Target positive and growing, current number. Next action, cut, leak or add pilot income. Row D, runway days, reserves divided by monthly essentials. Target 90, 180 days, current count. Next action, automate weekly transfer. Row E, total debt, target 0, current balance. Next action, extra payment date and amount. Post this on your fridge or team board. Look at it weekly. Celebrate movement, not perfection. Progress is oxygen. Now let me confront the enemy of law. Inconsistency. Most people do not fail because the principles are complicated. They fail because their practice is casual. Big intentions are noisy. Small obediences are wealthy. 10 disciplined minutes daily will outperform a weekend of panic every month. 1 weekly huddle will beat 12 months of avoidance. 1 scheduled seed beats 1,000 emotional swells. Write this down. Excellence is not an event. It is evidence. Evidence of repeated obedience under pressure. For the next 7 days, this is your non-negotiable activation. Tonight, draft a zero-based budget for the next 30 days. Every dollar named. Tomorrow, open or confirm the 5 accounts and automate transfers from income to seed, reserves, taxes, and operations the day money arrives. Day 3. Build your debt list, choose snowball or avalanche, and send 1 extra payment, any amount, to the target. Day 4, choose your 9-0-day skill and block 5 sessions on your calendar. Enroll in the course. Day 5, execute seed according to your plan. Write 1 thank you note to a field you sow into. Day 6, hold your 1 5-minute money huddle. Day 7, complete scoreboard Friday and write 3 lines. What worked, what didn't, what changes next week. That is it. Movement creates momentum. Momentum compounds increase. Increase funds assignment. Assignment fulfills legacy. Lift your head, eagles. This checklist is not bondage. It is wings with bones. Governance is worship. Order is love for your future self. When you do this weekly, your provision becomes stable. Your increase becomes sustainable. And your purpose gets funded before you die. I want you to shout this as a covenant with your own hands. I'm not guessing anymore. I'm governing. 1 budget, 1 skill plan, 1 seed plan, 1 scoreboard. And because I apply the law, I will die empty, not broke, not greedy, empty of unsown seed, empty of unused skill, empty of ungoverned increase, full of assignment accomplished. Are there eagles in this room? Then join me at the top and let your next 7 days prove that you live by law. Eagles, lift your head and listen with your future in mind. We have taught the laws, we have written the plan, and we have scheduled the practice. Now the question is simple and eternal. Will you live this until the cemetery has nothing to claim from you? I want you to write this down. You were born with solutions inside you, and money is a tool to release them before the dirt collects them. The assignment in you is older than your bills, and the laws you've learned are older than your feelings. I got news for you. Kingdom wealth is not luck. It is lawful stewardship that funds purpose and fulfills legacy. Let me pull the thread of legacy tight. The cemetery is still the wealthiest place on earth because people confuse breath with time and income with impact. Not you, not after today. You will not donate your unwritten book. your unbuilt business, your untrained proteges, your uncomposed songs, your unexecuted systems to that ground. You will die empty, hear me, empty of unsown seed, empty of unused skill, empty of excuses, empty of secret brilliance that never served anyone, and full of testimony that design was obeyed. Say to your neighbor, I will not enrich the cemetery. Say it again, until shame leads and courage takes the chair, I will not enrich the cemetery. Now let's bring this plane to a royal landing by flying the 4 laws in formation. Write this down and shout it as I say it so your habits can hear your voice. Law number 1, ownership versus stewardship. You don't possess it, you manage it. When you stop acting like an owner and start living like a steward, money stops controlling you and starts serving purpose. Say it, I am a steward. Again, I am a steward, and everything in my hand reports to my assignment. A steward asks, what does the owner want done with this life, this time, this money? That question destroys greed and delivers governance. Greed hoards. Stewardship deploys. Greed makes you a slave to more. Stewardship makes money a servant to mission. Write it down. My identity is steward. My posture is obedience. My reward is increased with accountability. Law number 2, money follows mastery. God can bless you, but he won't excuse you from growing. Excellence is the magnet. Value is the signal. You raise your mastery, you raise your demand. Practice, proof, and portfolio. Those 3 silence luck. Say it with me. Money follows mastery. Again, louder. Money follows mastery. Don't pray for checks you didn't prepare for. Pray while you prepare. Skill is not pride. It is stewardship of capacity. When you refine your gift, you respect your creator. When you deliver consistent excellence, you prophesy sustainability into your future. Law number 3, seed, not spare change. Generosity is a system, not a mood. We don't tip destiny. We sow on schedule, fields, percentages, dates, then peace. Increase is not produced by emotion. It is produced by seed placed under law. The bag marked seed is holy. We do not eat it in storms or in surplus. Say it with me. I sow by design, not by impulse. Again, I sow on schedule, and my harvest serves my assignment. Generosity without governance is sentiment. Generosity with systems is multiplication. Write that down. Law number 4, accountability and systems. Every increase demands structure. God can increase you overnight, but only systems can keep you increased. Budgets, 5 accounts, reconciles, scoreboards, huddles. These are not chains, they are wings with bones. If you don't measure it, you can't manage it. If you won't face it, you can't fix it. Say it, I build systems. Again, put your shoulders back. I build systems that protect purpose and preserve increase. Now hear the invitation I am placing at your feet like a runway. Leave pigeon living. Walk away from chance, impulse, and approval seeking. Break up with the addiction to applause and the romance with randomness. Join the rare breed called the eagle. Purpose, discipline, altitude. Eagles fly alone when they must. They test before they trust. And they love storms because the wind that scares pigeons is the elevator to their station. Are there eagles in this room? Then I want you to join me at the top. Give yourself a hand for choosing law over luck, purpose over performance, eternal over immediate. We must confront one more deception before we close. Dying empty is not dying broke, and it is not dying greedy. Greed is when money becomes your master. Empty is when assignment becomes your master and money becomes your servant. I want you to write this down and brand it on your conscience. I am not chasing money. I am channeling money. There is a difference. A channel is clean, measured, and directed. A chase is frantic, dirty, and aimless. We refuse both poverty theater and prosperity idolatry. We choose purposeful prosperity wealth, governed by law, submitted to design, accountable to legacy. Say this with me. I am a steward. Money follows mastery. I sow by system. I build systems. I will die empty. Again, louder, like a covenant. I am a steward. Money follows mastery. I sow by system. I build systems. I will die empty. Now let me seal this. As a father would bless his children before they fly, the God who compares himself to the eagle designed you for altitude, governed by law. Authorization precedes provision. So obey your assignment and expect the river to find the trench you dug in discipline. Stability is not an accident. It is the fruit of alignment. Increase is not a rumor. It is the harvest of seeds sown on schedule. Purpose is not a slogan. It is the address where resources are delivered. When you wait on the Lord, you do not wait in laziness. You wait in readiness, and you mount up with wings as eagles. You run and do not get weary because systems carry you. You walk and do not faint because stewardship paces you. Before we part, I want you to prophesy over your next decade with me. Hand on your heart. Say, I align with design. I govern what I'm given. I grow what I carry. I sow what I owe to the future. I build what cannot be shaken. My provision is stable. My increase is sustainable. My purpose is funded before I die. One more time, slow and sure. I will not enrich the cemetery. I will die empty, not broke, not greedy, empty of unsown seed, empty of unused skill, empty of unkept law, full of assignment accomplished. Eagles, the runway is clear. The laws are set. The wind is rising. Join me at the top, not someday, not after you feel ready now. Live by law. Fund your purpose. Fulfill your legacy. And when your day comes to leave this planet, leave it smiling, wings folded, assignment complete. Heaven applauding that you did not treat wealth like luck. You treated it like law.